Hello and welcome to the world today. I'm Amarachi Ubani. Here's what's coming up within the half hour. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he has not ruled out further strikes on Hamas leaders following last week's attack in Qatar. The World Health Organization begins vaccination of frontline workers in response to a new outbreak of Ebola in the DRC. Plus, Nigeria's Hilda Bassi makes new world record for largest pot of jollof rice. Let's begin the world today. We're starting things off with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's defiance at continuing airstrikes on Hamas leaders wherever they are. As follows Israeli airstrikes last week on Hamas leaders in the Qatari capital Doha, drawing global criticism. 6 people were killed, but Hamas says its leaders survived. Netanyahu was at a press conference with the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio earlier today, and he said every country has the right to defend itself beyond its borders. The pair presented a broadly united front, even amid the apparent tensions, with Rubio praising the two countries' technological and cultural ties, and Netanyahu saying Israel had no better ally. The meeting comes as Arab leaders hold a summit in a show of support for Qatar. The Qatari Prime Minister urged the international community to stop applying double standards and punish Israel. Meanwhile, thousands of demonstrators have been marching in the Netherlands against what they believe to be their government's complicity in the Gaza genocide. Wearing red, they marched and chanted, carrying Palestinian flags and signs. One of the protesters, the organizer, Mindy, criticized the Dutch government's lack of action against Tel Aviv, accusing the state of being complicit in genocide. Israel has repeatedly denied it is committing genocide in Gaza.
More action of the Dutch government to boycott, to put sanction on Israel, because if not, this genocide will not stop against the Palestinians. And in the West Bank, they are building more and more settlements. So the two-state solution is further and further away, and they commit murders on journalists also.
We are here today to draw a red line against the genocidal violence that Israel has put on Gaza and the Palestinian people in general, and how our Dutch government is complicit in the genocide that is unfolding right now in Gaza. We are here because we think it's time to take action, and that the government is being too lazy to actually do anything to stop this genocide and the starvation of the Palestinian people in Gaza right now. A lot of people show up every time. They can't go around us anymore. They can't ignore us anymore. So if we keep showing up, if we keep putting pressure on them in every way possible by protesting, boycotting, anything that has to do with Israel, or just put pressure on the Dutch government in any way possible, I think anything can work to free Palestine, really.
Back to the United States, there's new information about the suspect in the shooting of political activist and author Charlie Kirk. The director of the FBI, Kash Patel, says a towel that was wrapped around the firearm used in the shooting has been matched to the suspect, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. A screwdriver that was found on the roof from where the fatal shot was fired, has also been positively processed for the suspect in custody. A formal charge is expected to be made tomorrow, but a motive has yet to be determined. The FBI director, who has been facing scrutiny over his handling of the case, also referenced a note that was discovered at the suspect's home, which vowed to take out Kirk. Earlier, Utah Governor Spencer Cox said the suspect was refusing to cooperate with investigators. But this weekend, U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson acknowledged the grief affecting the nation, calling Charlie Kirk's death a dark shadow. He was speaking at a vigil honoring the late conservative activist. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called the gathering a source of comfort. Other major U.S. politicians also attended the event.
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. It's been a very, very difficult week in America. We all know that. It's been a mixture of unspeakable sadness and grief and anger and even fear. It's as if a dark shadow was cast over our country, and certainly here, even on Capitol Hill. The leaders of the nation have been shaken, as have university students and college students and young people all across the country. It's as if the ground was shifted beneath us. We all felt it deep, deep inside. And in spite of that, we remember that our dear friend Charlie would never want us to be overcome by despair. He would want exactly the opposite. You know, Charlie Kirk recruited and trained and educated a generation of happy warriors. And we do well to be reminded that the best way to honor his memory and to honor his unmatched legacy is to live as Charlie did.
And it's really comforting to be around so many good, faithful, God-fearing people at a time when I know we are all still mourning, we're confused, we are angry over the assassination of a legendary American and a friend to so many in this room and so many across the country, Charlie Kirk. The presence of God, and he is a good God, as Erica Kirk so beautifully and powerfully stated. He is a good God. He is clearly present in this room tonight. You can feel the Spirit moving and working in this room as we remember Charlie's life and his legacy.
Yesterday, my 17-year-old niece left for Europe to go to college. And while she was packing, her mother, Amaryllis, my daughter-in-law, noticed that she had put a Bible in her suitcase. And Amaryllis was curious about it. And she asked her, and Zoe said to her, "I want to live like Charlie Kirk." There are millions and millions of kids around the country who he inspired who now want to live with Charlie Kirk. And that's a great thing for our country.
Well, the grief of Charlie Kirk's murder extends to the South Korean capital, Seoul. Earlier today, people visited a memorial site that had Kirk's picture, which was surrounded by dozens of bouquets and notes. Kirk was an influential conservative political activist, a media personality, and founder of Turning Point USA. He had over 20 million followers across social media.
So devastating. I met Charlie multiple times when I was in college, and he was always just so kind and genuine and showed so much passion for the youth of America and the youth of the world. So it's devastating to see that this has happened, but at the same time, it's really inspiring to see how many people are coming out to pay tribute to him and to continue his mission.
Murder of Charlie Kirk was just such an unnecessary thing. People's politics get too wrapped up in their own lives, and they forget about the value of life. I think Charlie needs to be remembered for what he stood for and not his final outcome.
We're going to switch gears now as governments across the world continue to battle the threat of foreign information manipulations and interference, also known as FIMI. The media is being called upon to do more to counter fake news and partner with governments and critical actors to improve media literacy. These were the talking points from the Global Cooperation and Training Framework Conference in Taipei, the Taiwanese capital. Our correspondent, Kayode Ogekiolu, reports. We'll have that in a moment. But in tough economic times, Germany needs to cut spending by billions, so the government says. One focus is the country's complex welfare system, while Chancellor Friedrich Merz is pushing for a tougher approach, especially to unemployment benefits, causing tensions within his coalition government. For more, we're joined now by the DW's correspondent Hans Brandt, who's in Berlin. Hans, thanks for joining us on the program today. Well, Germany is still one of the richest countries in the world. Can it really, however, afford offering all of those social benefits?
Short answer to that is yes, it can't. The German economy is struggling. It's just come out of recession. It's facing a difficult situation in its relationship to the United States, in its relationship to China and other international markets. So tax income is not what it could be. So cuts need to be made across the budget here in Germany, and that includes social spending, which will also need to face some cuts.
Speaking of cuts, Chancellor Merz has also said that the major cuts will be in unemployment payments. They're possible, he says. His coalition partners, the Social Democrats, probably disagree, don't they?
Well, we have a very strange, one might say, coalition here in Germany at the moment. Chancellor Merz is from the Conservative Party. His coalition partners are Social Democrats, and they don't see eye to eye on social benefits, especially on unemployment benefits. While the Conservatives say that there are too many people kind of freeloading social benefits, living off the state, as it were, the Social Democrats will say that these are the most needy people in society and that they need their support. So this is a dispute that is going to go on for a while. I imagine is very, very sharp between these two coalition partners. In the end, I think it will mean that some cuts will have to be made in unemployment benefits, but I imagine that they're not going to make such a big difference to the budget as a whole.
Hans, as we end the conversation, what about other benefits such as state pensions? Surely more money can be found in there.
Yes, that's the largest part of budget support in social spending from the German government and involving hundreds of billions of euros. It's part of the problem that in a pension system, you have a lot of younger people who pay into the system and fewer older people gaining benefits from the system, and that balance is out of kilter in Germany and many other industrialized nations, so that fewer people are paying in and more people are taking money out. So state support is increasing, and that is something that the state can't afford. But it's a very hot potato that most governments don't like to touch, and this government so far has also not said that it is going to do anything about the pension system at all.
Thanks again, Hans. Hans Brandt of the Deutsche Welle. When we return after the break on The World Today. Nigeria's Hilda Bassi back in the Guinness World Records, this time for the largest pot of jollof rice. Stay with us. Welcome back to The World Today. Governments around the world battling the threat of foreign information manipulations and interference. And media now being called upon to do more to counter fake news and partner with governments and other critical actors to improve media literacy. Our correspondent Kayode Okikiolu has more.
Well, I'm live in Taipei. This is a grand hotel, an iconic building right in the heart of the political, economic, and education capital of the island country called Taiwan. What am I doing here?
Taiwan is home to over 20 million people, approximately the population of Lagos State. With an area of 36,000 square kilometers, Niger State can comfortably contain the island country twice. It's a 2-day journey from Lagos, and when I finally arrive, I'm not only welcomed by my hosts, but by the warm summer air. But I'm not here for tourism.
I am live at the venue of the Global Cooperation and Training Framework, the 10th edition of the conference. This is a result of the coming together of 5 nations: Taiwan, the United States of America, Japan, Australia, and Canada. And the conversation is around building resilient democracies, particularly the role of media literacy. So issues around misinformation, disinformation, using artificial intelligence, and the whole information warfare happening around the world.
Since its launch in 2015, the GCTF has become an important platform for Taiwan to promote international multilateral cooperation. And this event brings together government officials, media representatives, big tech companies, and other experts from 26 countries. A lot of the conversations here are under the Chatham House rule, an age-long principle which limits participants from attributing information shared to any of the speakers. But one topic that comes up time and again is the increasing concerns about the contribution of fake news to the tension in the region, particularly between China and Taiwan. I get a hold of some of the organizers on the sidelines about the importance of countering disinformation and external influence.
In Taiwan, every day we got a lot of fake news, especially generalized by AI. Frankly, most of them are from China, our neighbors' countries. But for the public, not many people notice that, because our daily life, we need a lot of information, but also we need entertainment. We have our daily life. So this kind of media literacy is very important.
For Canada, we had a public inquiry on in foreign interference 2 years ago, is that we need to communicate more with the public and raise awareness on disinformation. I think governments tend to protect information, so we've gotten more comfortable with releasing information to the public, talking directly to them in terms that they understand, and helping them identify information operations.
We're also taken through Taiwan's history from the colonization by Japan until 1945 to the 38-year-long martial law from 1949 to 1987, with the media playing a huge role. The nation not only prides itself in its culture and cuisine, it is also arguably the semiconductor capital of the world. And it says it looks forward to deepening collaboration with other countries like Nigeria and jointly contributing to global peace and stability. From Taipei, Kayode Okikyolu, Channels Television News.
Back here in Africa, the Democratic Republic of Congo is dealing with another outbreak of Ebola virus, looking to the World Health Organization for help. The global health body has begun vaccinating frontline health workers and contacts of infected individuals to deal with the situation. The outbreak, declared in early September, is the DRC's first in 3 years. The virus, which thrives in the country's dense tropical forests, has so far resulted in 32 suspected cases, 20 confirmed, and 16 deaths, according to the Health Ministry. WHO Program Area Manager Patrick Otim warned the outbreak could expand, especially after a case was confirmed 70 kilometers from Bulape. He highlighted a moderate risk of cross-border spread, particularly to neighboring Angola. And we have 2 Nigerian women with 2 world records. Talking about Hilda Bassi, first of all, Nigeria's finest, who's just backed another Guinness World Record for the largest serving of the Nigerian jollof rice. The announcement was made on the Guinness World Record handle on Instagram. Hilda cooked 200 bags of rice using up 500 cartons of tomato paste and 600 kilograms of onions, all poured into a custom-made pot that can hold 23,000 liters, over 1,200 kilograms of gas. She added 168 kilograms of goat meat as well. The pot weighed 8,780 kilograms when she was done. According to her, the dish took 9 hours to cook, assisted by 10 other chefs in red uniform, wielding long wooden spoons to stir the food. She was able to serve up to 16,600 plates of jollof rice. Bassi won a competition for her version of jollof rice in 2021 and then became a national sensation in 2023 when she claimed the World Cooking Marathon record for 93 hours and 11 minutes. It's still a proud day for Nigeria and Nigerians this time. It's talented athlete Tobi Amushong, who today clinched the country's first medal at the ongoing World Athletics Championship in Tokyo, Japan. Miss Amushong continues her winning streak, winning silver in the women's 100-meter hurdles final, clocking a brilliant 12.29 seconds and a thrilling race won by Switzerland. She remains the world record holder with a 12.12 seconds record, which she won at the 2022 World Athletics Championship in Eugene, Oregon on July 24, 2022. And that record also made her the first Nigerian world champion in an athletics event, setting the world record in the semi-final. Amushong is one of the 15 talented athletes representing Nigeria in various sports. We say huge congratulations to both women. Thank you for making Nigeria proud. And thanks for watching The World Today. I'm Amarachi Ubani.